The sun was setting over the quaint town of Harlington, casting a warm golden glow over the empty streets. Children were playing joyfully in the park, while parents stood chatting and enjoying the crisp evening breeze. Emily, a young girl who had just finished school for the day, was walking home deep in thought about the lessons she had learned. Little did she know, a shadowy figure had been following her, its gaze fixed on her every move. As Emily turned a corner, the figure pounced, grabbing her from behind and pulling her into a nearby alleyway. Emily let out a blood-curdling scream, but unfortunately, no one was there to hear her cries for help. The figure dragged her deeper into the alley where a van was waiting. Emily was thrown inside, and the doors were slammed shut, leaving her in darkness. She tried to scream again, but a hand clamped over her mouth, stifling her cries. The van drove off, leaving the town behind. Emily was thrown into a small room, where she was met by two men wearing masks. They were tall and burly, with cold, dead eyes that sent shivers down her spine. They told her that she was going to be their plaything, and that they would do whatever they wanted with her. Emily was terrified, but she refused to give in to their sick desires. Days turned into weeks, and Emily was subjected to unspeakable horrors. She was beaten, starved, and tortured until she couldn't take it anymore. But one day, Emily saw her chance for escape. She managed to slip out of her restraints and make a run for it. She was almost free when she heard the sound of footsteps behind her. The two men were hot on her heels, and Emily knew she had to find a way out. She burst through a door and found herself in a dark, deserted basement. The men were closing in, but Emily had one last trick up her sleeve. She found a sharp piece of metal and prepared to fight for her life. The men lunged at her, but Emily was quick. She stabbed one of them in the eye, sending him crashing to the ground. The other man hesitated for a moment, giving Emily just enough time to deliver a fatal blow. Emily stumbled out of the basement, her body battered and bruised, but alive. She had survived the horror that no child should ever have to endure. As she made her way back to her hometown, she vowed to never forget the terror she had faced. She knew that there were others out there, just like her, who were still trapped in the clutches of evil. And so, Emily became a warrior against the darkness, a beacon of hope for those who had lost their way. She would never forget the horror that had been inflicted upon her, but she would use it to fuel her fight against the monsters that lurked in the shadows.